What is up, my favorite earth science class? We're back at it again with part 2 of hydrology. Hey, look, today we're going to be talking about infiltration, all right? So infiltration, what is it? Infiltration is simply how the water is going to move through the soil, all right? What the soil does for infiltration is it what? Filters it. That's right. Great job. It filters it. All right. So how does that work? So as you will notice, the soil is made up of a bunch of little particles. You have different types of soil. You have, give me some. Yep. Sand, clay, silt. Good job. And a mixture of all three is called what? Loam. It's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. It's when you have the soil and the water moves through the soil. All right. The significance of that water moving through the soil is the water is filtered out. The impurities are filtered by the soil, and you actually get to a level in the ground where you have what is called an impermeable layer. As a matter of fact, impermeable means that water does not go through it. All right. Water goes through this soil. Water does not go through this concrete. All right. So you have an impermeable layer, and what happens is the water now begins to settle and build up as it hits this impermeable layer in the ground. And before you know it, in the ground underneath me right now is what we call a saturation zone. Everybody say saturation zone. There it is, all right? So as the water moves to the ground, it begins to build up. And before you know it, you have a saturation zone. And underground, we have what is called the water table. Everybody say water table. One more time, water table. There you go. All right? The water table is where if I were to dig a hole, which I did dig right here. Here's a hole, all right? If I were to dig a hole, eventually deep enough, I would get down to a place where the ground is saturated, and we would call that the water table. AKA, this hole would begin to fill with water to the line at which the ground was saturated. That's very important. As a matter of fact, when I built my deck over there, it had rained like every day for 2 weeks straight. And when I poured my concrete, instead of me using water from my spigot, I actually just used the water from the water table to allow this concrete to harden. And it was because the ground was, what's the key word I'm looking for? Yep, it was saturated. All right. So infiltration is important because infiltration keeps our water table high enough for human consumption. This is important to humans because we have what is called a water pump. If you don't have a water bill from the county or the town, that means you are on a water pump. You have one of those little houses out in front of your house, and it is actually a deep pipe that goes deep down into the ground like this. Yep, all the way down, and it soaks up or it picks up water and it goes into your house for human consumption. So that is very important. So today we focused on infiltration. This is how water moves through the earth and it is filtered out. It gets to a place where the ground is saturated called the water table, and this is where the ground is saturated with water. It sits on top of an impermeable layer of rock, and this is how we get our water when we have a pump house out in front. All right, hey, look, today, great job. I need you to take notes on it, learn all you can, and hit me back. Peace.